Okay, so g'day, welcome back to Gumadee's Coins and Banknotes, and today we're in the Pacific. So if you don't know where the Pacific is, go to Google Maps, look up Pacific Ocean. So the Pacific Ocean, unlike the Indian Ocean, the Indian Ocean has a few countries close to Africa: Seychelles, Comoros, Madagascar, but the Pacific Ocean countries are spread out more in the center west of the Pacific. The north doesn't have many. There's Hawaii, and the east is more like islands that belong to larger countries like Easter Island, Galapagos. But here we have coins from the Pacific, from New Guinea, so Papua New Guinea. We have New Hebrides, which is currently Vanuatu, and we have the French Pacific. So these coins would have been circulated in New Caledonia and French Polynesia. And there's another one, Wevis or whatever, I can't remember the name. So all the French possessions would have actually used these coins. So, and then we have the current coins of modern Papua New Guinea. Okay, so the first coins we have are the 1, 2 and 5 franc issued in the Pacific. So these are aluminium coins, and the size is the same as the current French coins of the time. So the earliest coins were 1949. Before that, French coins would have circulated. 41 and 2 francs, 45 franc, we have 1952. And the mintages for these coins are the 1 and 5 franc had 2 million, and the 2 franc had 1 million. And there is also 50 centimeters with about 675,000, which I find a bit harder to get. So these ones are pretty easy to get on eBay. They cost about $5 to $10 each. The designer is Lucien Georges Bazar. And what we have a Pacific scene on the back of the banknote, coins, should I say. So in the background, we have an island. We have, looks like a catamaran. It's a bit hard to tell. Here we have another canoe. We have probably coconut palms, which are, that's what the coconut fruit is. The coconut fruit actually floats around the ocean, washes up on an island, that's where it germinates. Then we have 5 francs. Then we've got settlements of French Oceania. Obviously it wasn't a settlement. I think most of the French colonists went to New Caledonia. Not too sure about Tahiti. I wonder if they've rebuilt the airport that they burnt down. Anyway, on the other side we have Mariam. So she represents France. Here we have, looks like a tombstone, but it's probably not. It's probably just an epitaph, an inscription. So she's on a chair. She has a cornucopia, and she's holding a torch. She has a Phrygian cap with wings, represents freedom and liberty. The cornucopia represent agriculture and fruit. Now I'm not sure what the torch is. Torch usually represents freedom, just like the Phrygian cap. You have Republic Française and Union Française. And we have the 2 mint marks. So one's for the Paris Mint and the other one's for the person who was the head of the mint at the time, or general coin engraver. Okay, so basically these ones are actually fairly common. You can find them on eBay. Now, I've never seen any counterfeit of these, but I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past, like Chinese coins. Okay, the next ones are a little bit more expensive. So these are the 10 and 20 franc from the New Hebrides, or currently Vanuatu. I keep on thinking of Venezuela, maybe because it just starts with V. Okay, so the 10 and 20 franc first minted in 1967. Now, Australian coins circulated at the time, and before that it would have been French Pacific coins, and then they issued these coins independently. But unlike French Pacific, they issued nickel, brass 1 and 2 and 5 francs instead of the larger aluminium coins. And these are pretty low mint. So on this side we have, it looks like Nautilus or some type of gastropod shell, or it could be bull's horns. So I'm talking about these on the sides. Actually, they look like ammonites, uncurled versions. We have a traditional mask, or maybe it is one of their gods. You have the mint marks. This is minted in France again, 20 francs. And on the other side we have Mariam again. So we have Republic Francaise, and as you can see it has IEOM, which was only put on coins in 1975, and it just stands for the issuing authority. So that is who issues these coins. Now 1975 had a mintage of 150,000, so really not a fairly high minted coin, but you know, once again, you're probably paying about $10 to $20 for one of these. Not really expensive compared to what the mintage is. If that was an Australian coin, it'd be worth, you know, probably over $20, especially in this condition. Okay, these are rated. They're made of nickel, so nickel is actually quite expensive. A lot of countries are getting rid of nickel. And the 10 franc is the same design as the 20. And the mintage for, so this is 1973, first year of issue of the IEOM. The 1967 to 70 doesn't have the IEOM. And the mintage of this one, let me have a look, is 200,000. The highest is 1979, 400,000. And the scarce one you want is any coins dated 1982, which that's the year of independence of Vanuatu. And they issued 1982 because they didn't have the independence coins made up in time. Anyway, so that's those two coins. Okay, then we have the coins of 1935 to 1945 issued in New Guinea. All the denominations are here. They only issued 4. So we have and they all hold. So we have the bronze 1 penny. They didn't issue a half-penny, although patterns are known. 2 copper nickel, a 4pence and a 6pence coins, and the only silver coin they issued is the 1 shilling. And this has a bullion value of $9. So really, when these had a bullion value of about $5-6, you could buy them for $10, but now this has gone up. You're probably paying about $15 to $20 for one of these coins now. And these are all designed by George Kruger Gray. So he designed the 1936 Australian coins. He also done South African coins. So this is one of his designs of South Africa, and it's got KG. And from memory, I think the Canadian 5 cent is the only George Kruger Gray. Oh no, I think there's another one. I can't remember. It's currently in circulation, so that's the BB design. So here's the 1 penny, KG, Kruger Gray. So he done quite a lot of other coins as well. Okay, so this one is the crown. I think it's the Edwardian crown. We have 2 maces. So these are similar to these, can be found in the Australian 1927 florin. And this looks like a tooth, probably could be shark tooth. No, it doesn't look like shark teeth. Necklace. So we have George VI, and this one's 1938. And on this side we have a pattern which I don't think that it represents anything that I know of, but this looks like it's a face, and it's probably taken from elements of art in Papua New Guinea. That's why I like their banknotes. Okay, and this one has a mintage of 3.4 million. shilling as a high mintage. Then we have the 1 penny. So this is quite smaller than the Australian 1 penny. And this one is interesting because it is minted with the name Edward VIII. So not many places issue coins under Edward VIII. These are about 6.5, 6.6 grams and 26.7 millimeters. This one is a mintage 360,000, but they don't seem too hard to get for mintage like that. And it's a single year issue, obviously 1936. And here we have the last year of issue, which is 1944. And once again, not too sure what the design is, but George Carew Gray does, but no, he's passed away. But the mintage in 1944 is 240,000. And at the time, Australia, as well as the United States, were fighting with the Japanese on New Guinea Island. So, I'm not too sure when this one would have been put into circulation. The southern part of New Guinea was pretty much firmly in control of the Australian forces by that time. And then we have the sixpence. So what do we got? We've got two. So we've got 1935, it has a 6. And we have the 1943. So the last year of issue and the first year of issue. So 1946. Okay, so 2 million for the 1935, and for the 1943, 130,000. Now there is a trial 1937, which if you got that, it could be legit, but it will be an expensive coin. So these are the only 2 coins you're going to get for this series. So, as you can see, George V, George VI had the same monogram, George, and also they're rated. Okay, the smallest coin they issued is this one, a threepence coins. This one is the later issue, 1944. So this is the last issue, copper nickel, 1.3 grams. The sixpence is 2.7 grams. So obviously, the metal weight is double the threepence, and 1944 the mintage of 500,000. Okay, so that's those ones. Yeah, you'll be paying about $5 to $10 for each of these coins. And this one probably $10 to $15. Although this one's a bit damaged, so probably a bit less. Okay, and the last coins we have are coins from the current series of Papua New Guinea. Although the 1 and 2 Toa were withdrawn from circulation in, what date? 2006, I think. No, I can't remember. So we have a butterfly, looks like a clownfish. Is that a loggerhead turtle? Then we have cuscus, cassowary, and it looks like 2 saltwater crocodiles. So the larger one kino was withdrawn from circulation in 2005 when they issued a smaller coin. And as you can see, it's a bird of paradise, which is the coat of arms. So here we have the actual coat of arms of Papua New Guinea. Anyway, my wife's home. Alright, this is where I end the video. My wife's back. I think we're going to cook the cat now. Anyway, have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time. And I hope this helps you with your Pacific coins. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time. Thank you and goodbye.